children. Welcome to today's session of Stories That Inspire. My name is Selza Narona. Today I chose a story about Maya. Maya is one of the greatest writers that the world has ever known. When Maya was young, she promised that one day she would change the lives of other little girls. Maya traveled across countries and read her stories to children, starting the children off on their own magical journeys. This story is about hope, about the people who stood up for Maya when she was little and changed her life forever. Dare to Dream. This story is written by Udiksha Batra and she has collaborated with several people to illustrate the story. One pleasant spring morning, in a village called Nurupi in India, a baby girl was born. Usually, the birth of a child is a moment of great joy. Yet, surprisingly, no one in the family seemed to be smiling. "It's a girl," announced Dadu in an angry voice. "And she's so tiny and black," said Dadi in a sad voice, shaking her head. The father looked guilty and upset. Even the mother looked scared and nervous. This is how little Maya entered this world. At first, Maya was a happy baby. She loved snuggling up to her mama and feeling her love and warmth. But as she grew a little older, she started feeling sad. Her mother was always busy working in the field or cooking and cleaning the house and did not have any time to spend with her. The rest of the family just ignored her anyway. Maya always wondered why it was that Dadi, Mama, and she needed to eat leftover food. Once Dadu and Papa had finished their meal, she also wondered why a full glass of milk was offered to her son Rahul twice a day, whenever he came to visit, while she was told each day that the milk needed to be rationed so there was enough for Dadu and Papa's tea. When she asked Mama about this, Mama told her, "Please, baby, do not ask such questions. Everyone will feel so angry if they hear you." Maya felt sad that she could not depend on Mama to help her. She also realized, to her surprise, that her questions scared Mama. So Maya tried to stay quiet. However, she was a bright little girl, and so more and more thoughts and questions kept popping into her head, like, "Is being born a girl unlucky? I wish I was fair-skinned like Mama. Then maybe everyone would love me. Why does Mama never get to do what she wants? Why does Dadi not go out to work like Dadu? And the question that puzzled her the most, why does Rahul get to go to school when I do not? Next day, when Dadu and Papa were enjoying their evening tea, she timidly stepped up to them and said, "Please, could I go to school?" Mama, who was serving the tea, suddenly looked shocked and terrified. Dadu's smile left his face. Papa stepped in quickly. He said, "Then who would do your duties of helping Mama with the housework? Who would walk all the way down to the next village with her to collect water? Also, as the nearest school is in the next village, how can you manage to go and come back safely each day on your own?" Sorry, it is just not possible. Tears welled up in Maya's eyes, but she refused to let them fall. She quietly walked away, feeling defeated. That night, while Mama held Maya tight in her arms and watched her sob herself to sleep, Mama made a silent promise to herself. She would never let Maya's dreams be snatched away from her as her own family had done to her when she was Maya's age. Next day, before heading off to collect water, she took Maya and went to visit the retired school principal, Seema Ma'am, who lived next door. She shared with Seema Ma'am her daughter's thirst to learn and begged her for her help. Seema, who was a kind old lady, agreed to help them out and teach Maya. Mama begged her to keep this arrangement a secret from the family, as they would not approve, and she agreed. As Maya continued to grow older, those stolen moments in between chores spent at Seema Ma'am's house became some of the happiest and most cherished moments of her life. Gradually, Seema Ma'am introduced her to the world of books, and Maya fell in love with stories. Words became her friends, and stories helped her paint pictures in her mind. Sometimes she would imagine she was a princess like Jasmine, or that she was a determined girl like Helen Keller, who would not let being blind and deaf stop her from going to university and living her life bravely. Before long, Maya was writing her very own stories. Watching Maya's remarkable progress in her studies and her talent for writing stories, Seema Ma'am decided that it was time for someone to stand strong in Maya's favor and help her to fight her dreams. So she went over to Maya's house one evening and spoke to Papa and Dadu. She told them that she had been teaching Maya for 3 years and that Maya was just too clever to be sitting at home. It was now time that Maya was sent to school. Seema Ma'am shared with them that if Maya was allowed to go to school, she would easily achieve all her goals and have a wonderful career. This would enable her to help her whole family and perhaps even their whole community one day. Dadu said, "Seema ma'am, you know we all respect you. But Maya is the only child in our family. In our community, who would want to give their son in marriage to such an educated girl? They will be scared that she will want a career and not have enough time to take care of the home and children. If we do as you say, then we will be burdened with her for the rest of our lives. How people will laugh at us." Seema ma'am smiled quietly and said, "But won't those same people be the first to want to be close to you when one day your granddaughter becomes the president of this country or its greatest doctor? Also, why worry about marriage now? She is far too young. This is her time to live and be free to enjoy her childhood." Papa opened his mouth to refuse Seema ma'am politely. But looking into Maya's eyes, gleaming with hope and excitement, he just could not do it. Avoiding Dadu's angry gaze, Papa said, "Okay, Maya, from tomorrow you will start school." He felt a surprising surge of happiness and pride as Maya flung herself into his arms, saying, "Oh, thank you, Papa, thank you. I always knew deep down that you really loved me, even though I am a girl." Seema ma'am and Mama looked on with tears of happiness in their eyes, while Dadi shook her head and said, "We never went to school and we turned out just fine. No good can come out of this. What will people say?" So the next day, off went Maya to school, as excited as could be, with a bag full of books and a heart full of dreams. Mama walked alongside her. Her heart was also full of happiness and hope. Papa waved goodbye from the front door of the house. He planned to go late to work today, as he had wanted to see Maya off to school on her first day. He had also promised Mama to help out more with the household chores so she could take Maya to school and get some time to herself. Dadi watched quietly from the window, her teardrops falling, as she thought about her own childhood. She wished her parents too had dared to stand up for her. It wouldn't surprise you to know that when Maya grew up, she became one of the greatest writers the world has ever known. She realized that it did not matter that she was born into a poor, uneducated family or that she was dark-skinned. And most importantly, that it did not matter that she was a girl. She could do anything. Maya always remained humble. She never forgot her mama and Seema ma'am, who had stood up for her and changed her life forever. As Maya traveled across countries, reading out her stories to children and starting them off on their own magical journeys, she vowed she would one day change the lives of other little girls. And indeed she did. But that is a story for another time. So this book, children, has been made possible by Pratham Books on the Story Weaver platform. Thank you, and looking forward to have you join me on the next story.